Hello, welcome back. We're going to call this one the Ethereum episode. Is retail back? That's what we're talking about. We've also got Mr. Juhyuk from Kimchi Premium out of Seoul in Korea, and we're going to talk about what the Korean market looks like right now, how to break into Korea if you are an aspiring project founder or grifter. And we're also going to talk about XRP and everything else that kind of comes up from a market point of view because it's Ethereum season, baby, and whether you're on for the ride or not, well, it's up to you. Oh, NFTs as well. NFTs might be back, but maybe not at the same time. So yeah, enjoy the episode. Please like, subscribe, do all the good shit. Newsletters below. So yeah. We have got our first ever guest on this week. It's a special week. This is a good week for the ETH bulltards. And it's a good week for anyone interested in the state of things in crypto in Korea. We've got Mr. Juhyuk with us, aka Morbid19. Thanks for coming on, sir.
Hey, what's up, guys?
We as usual, we're going to rattle through the headlines, but after me and Grant spent like the best part of an hour being totally wrong about the Pump Fun launch last week,
I missed a good one.
Yeah, you did. It seems more appropriate to kind of talk about where we're at from a market point of view, and because, well, that's more fun too, frankly. So I'll rattle through the things that you need to know, and then we'll kind of hit the wheels there. So few headlines to get through. So Jack Dorsey's Block Inc. is set to join the S&P 500 index on July 23rd, which is probably, it's currently the 22nd at the time of recording. The UK is looking to sell 5 billion British pounds. That's 6.7 billion US dollars worth of seized Bitcoin. Proceeds will be used to fill a deficit in the budget. Don't want to dwell on that one too much. Oh dear. Trump signs a Stablecoin Genius Act, turning the first major crypto framework into law. It's 4 billion expected to be drained from the ecosystem by crypto thieves by the end of 2025 via wallet hacks. 4 billion. Holy shit. Coinbase stock price is hovering around its all-time highs at the minute. NASDAQ listed Tau Synergies purchases 10 million worth of Tau tokens for its treasury. Good one for 563 there. Sharplink Gaming plans to sell additional shares worth 5 billion to purchase ETH. We'll get onto that. Coinbase Wallet rebrands the base app alongside wallet trading and payment functions. It'll have social media, messaging, and support for mini apps too. Radium allocates $190.4 billion to buy back Ray tokens.
Million.
And obviously, million. Did I say billion there? Thanks for correcting me. And then Athena, which came out yesterday, obviously was announced the 360 mil stablecoin X private investment public equity deal, and which kind of hyper bullish for the Athena token and stuff like that, who I know we've been big fans of. But look, there's only one place to start, fellas, and it's with Mr. Lark Davis. Is retail back in crypto?
Your friend of mine.
Yeah, our friend. We met this dude in Singapore. Good fella, actually. So Lark tweeted, and I'm going to pull up more of these tweets. Google searches for altcoins just hit a 4-year high. Retail is coming back to crypto. Are we back, lads? Are we back? Is the exit liquidity here? Gaz, you first.
It feels
Well,
like
definitely.
Sorry. It feels like we've got kind of TradFi front running maybe our friend's text at the moment. That's kind of where my head's at on this one. But there's definitely been some renewed interest, and I think the kind of narrative shift underway at Ethereum needs to be studied because they have done a full 180 and things have gone exceptionally well now. So big change. You obviously got huge inflows. The last week's weekly inflows for the ETFs were phenomenal. So yeah, I think we're just gearing up now for a proper, maybe final leg to the bull market here. So very excited.
Yeah, I just saw this YouTube thumbnail on YouTube mentioning the Ethereum treasury companies as the latest scam on Wall Street. And I was like, okay, maybe we're still early because now these YouTubers are posting about this. But yeah, I see that as a very strong signal. I'm expecting other more shittier coins to have their own treasuries, and I guess we'll have to, just see what happens in the sell when things get too frosty.
Name more shittier coins.
I don't know. Maybe something down the list on CoinGecko. I don't even know. It could be any shit coin. You know, even Whiff has their own treasury, right? So we're already seeing signs.
There's a fat strategy as well.
Yeah, there is a fat strategy. No, I think Charlie Hoskinson and his weird ayahuasca ceremonies has probably been out trying to raise some Cardano treasury companies, and if XRP treasury companies don't come online pretty soon, I'd like to see Uber like divest some Uber equity and start a XRP treasury to hedge the loss of Uber drivers that will be coming since that XRP's hit all-time highs. I think that's a smart move for them.
You've been hammering the Charlie meme at the minute, haven't you? I keep just seeing
it's just so fucking funny, isn't it? Like, what is
Where
he up
did
to
you
there?
find that? Yeah. I would love to have that much coin that I can just walk around in like the jungle in robes doing whatever the hell.
Fat as fuck, doing pads.
Yeah, he's got his oven gloves on. He's probably fucking off his bin lid, like
pull the meme
some...
up. We're going off topic here, but pull the meme up if you've got it, because like
I'll send you it on WhatsApp, because
if you haven't seen it,
my favorites on my phone.
It's Mr. Charles Hoskinson, who, whether we want to call him fame or more infamous, is probably more appropriate.
Ethereum founder Charles Hoskinson. Can I?
Yeah, good context there, Grant.
Apparently, he jumped off a helicopter, according to those books. You know, like he was like this special, military unit, whatever. Like, you guys remember that? Like, there was this on a book. So I don't like he refuted all the claims, but he's supposed to be like.
I've been in that state in like so many people's kitchens at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Tyson Fury, isn't it?
What? Yeah, like that is what is he talking about there? Are they pads or are they?
He's getting the apple crumble out.
I love the fact that he's got like. I love the fact that he's got like a handprint on his chest here as well.
What is
that? That's a big hand. That.
Yeah, but it looks like a badass, to be fair. So fair play. No wonder. But like one of the other tweets that I did see come up is that buy Bitcoin. Google searches for like specifically buy Bitcoin have spiked, and Google searches for Ethereum are now at the highest level since December. I think that was a DeFi Warhol tweet. But before we go down the Ethereum rabbit hole too much, I do want to stick on this topic of like retail being back. So it feels like weird timing, this to me. Do you agree? Do you know what I mean by that? Yeah. Like we're obviously hovering around a bit like 118.
It feels like they've came later in the cycle.
Yeah, because like I think back to when we hit like 70, I think we blew through 80 or 90 around the time when we were all in Bangkok in like November.
Yeah,
and that's when it felt like, oh, now it's gonna fucking go. So why now? Why? I mean, I know we're sitting at 118k Bitcoin, but like, why now?
I think part of that might be to do with the fact you're seeing quite a lot of big names on like TradFi TV. So like CNBC, for example, you've got Tom Lee banging the freaking drum for ETH right now. You've seen like people like Joe Lubin doing the rounds. So there's been kind of like, I guess ETH's associated with altcoins as well, isn't it? So you've got kind of like a traditional roots in for people. They're seeing these faces on their TV and they're going, all right, what's Ethereum do? Let's buy some of that. And potentially as well, with price marking up, a lot of people may have just bag held from last cycle. Like some people I got involved with in 2021 who got wrecked, have just held the huge L. And then now the portfolios have come back up. They're kind of around break even again. And they're like, oh, should I invest more? Should I just sell? Like, I think a lot of people are having those kind of questions right now.
And Juhyuk?
I think it's just like maybe I think, it's just like retail comes and goes now. I think, even earlier this year, from the search volume on Google, we can see a trend of altcoins or maybe Bitcoin search volume going up, and then it went straight down. It's coming up again. So I think people are just like, we're just in a perpetual like uphill battle for the Bitcoin price wise, but for retail appetite, it just comes and go now. I think that's the case.
I bet the phrase meme coin stole a lot of that search traffic though, the past 18 months.
Do you think? Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it, to sort of like hear that we're getting like more in the realms of like altcoin and stuff again. Like I wondered whether that term would ever.
Well, like, do you see how bang on Hickson was about all this? Like,
Oh,
he is such a good kind of like, he can assess the hive mind of like CT and like the wider markets, like nobody. Like,
it's telepathic.
It's like he just buys the bottom of like all-time low sentiment every single time and outperforms. I've asked him to pull together his screenshots from like he started screenshotting and making a folder of everyone saying we'll never have an old season again. We'll never have an old season again. And he's got about 40 saved in his folders, and he's gonna out them all.
Keeps receipts, doesn't he? Yeah. Which bit? What are you talking about in particular there? Just sort of like or in general, his ongoing commentary of what he's been covering throughout.
Well, he's like, so for people who don't know, Hickson's our newsletter writer, but I think
subscribe in the description.
Yeah, subscribe in the description. It's free. From a market's perspective, I'd say from the outside looking in, he's just a pure sentiment trader, and will take the opposite side of what the hive mind is saying. And without fail, not every single time, but very, very, very high success rate when he's doing that. And it's like really like bang on. It's kind of scarily good. He's done it so many times now.
Yeah, and Hickson as well is the notorious Ethereum bull on the Blockmates team. Considering Grant, I think for the past, what are we on now, July 2025? How long have you been telling people that if you hold ETH in your portfolio, the cooked, Grant? Longest time.
Probably since Solana was $8.
yeah, which is, by the way, super, super fair. But I probably held on to ETH for too long. But obviously the DeFi Warhol tweet where he kind of, we see here Google searches for Ethereum and now at the highest level since December.
Wrong. No, that's the correct one currently.
Ethereum. Yeah, Ethereum. But like, will we now finally see ETH become the new XRP for normies? Is that what's going to happen?
I'm not sure if it's got that much of a kind of like wider cult. Like XRP kind of embodies just the random gym bro you'll see who's got a massive bag of XRP and just comes and tells you about it every 2 seconds. I haven't ever
John Nemesis that, isn't it? Guys at the gym.
Bro, he's out before me. But like, I think ETH has obviously a different type of bag holder behind it. XRP is just kind of like balls to the wall bullish and can't even explain why really. But I think ETH now has taken the kind of mantle of this kind of like the stablecoin chain and the DeFi chain, and that's what it's being marketed as. So I think it's quite an easy hold for people to make now if that is the way it's going to be pushed and that is the narrative around it, because stablecoins are going to go to multiple trillions on chain. And if that is what you're being sold to, maybe in your ETF, like why not? So I think it makes a lot of sense.
While we're on this thought, I do want to jump to Mr. Morbid19 for a second, because for context, which I didn't give at the start of the pod because we just got straight into it, Juhyuk is a friend of Blockmates and is also building the media platform called Kimchi Premium, which we are going to talk about later, and is also just a wizard on CT, very much one of us, and based out of Korea. And I wanted to talk to you about the normie thing while we've got you, because obviously we made the joke about XRP there. Is that a global thing in Asia too, or is it just like drunk Westerners in pubs that buy XRP?
I was surprised to see, white dads in America holding XRP and being, super enthusiastic about it, because I thought it was only a Korean thing until I saw that on TikTok. So in Korea, yeah. So I guess we're all isolated into our own echo chambers. But anyways, XRP in Korea super popular. I have people my own age and to like people in their 60s who hold XRP who also got wrecked or even got rich out of it. And it's a thing that they don't sell. They really think this is going to change the world. They believe in it literally. So I think that's where all the price action comes from. And the volume in Korea is actually ridiculous. I'm not sure how much it is right now, but and at any point of time, if you check XRP volume in Korean exchanges, it's going to be very, very big. And like, as long as I know, like 25% of XRP is held by Koreans. So these people are a diamond hands. So, your coins are in good hands. So I guess buy XRP. I don't know.
Hello, I hope you're enjoying this episode, but I do have to tell you that the real alpha is actually behind the meal deal curtain for our members over there. The meal deal is the best we have to offer from a research point of view. It's actionable and is basically built to help you stay ahead of every curve and trend in crypto. There's also a private group that you'll get access to as soon as you sign up, and it's full of some of the maddest traders we've ever met on chain in crypto. So hopefully it'll help you along your journey. It's helped me, it's helped the rest of the lads, and I think you'll enjoy it in there. The link is in the description. Go and check it out and enjoy the rest of this episode. I don't know whether to be fuck, man. I don't know what to say about that. Like, what do you two think?
It's a cult. It's a cult.
It's a cult.
So
yeah.
You want to invest in cults, and the price target they have, what was it, 589 is the kind of meme target, and like they're talking about this is a multiple quadrillion market that we're tapping into. We're going to replace the dollar. All this crazy stuff. You have such an absurd long distance kind of goal that it going up by 2 or 3x from here, even though it would have a huge market cap, it's not unachievable when you got that belief.
That's the thing. I'm pretty sure me and you mentioned this before, guys, and it might have been on round trip as a while back, that the thing about people saying you want to buy cults is a lot of people like fabricate that to try and have some kind of community building tailwind or something like that, where they're kind of like making out that they're in a cult. Like if they're buying, I don't know, whatever the meme coin flavor of the week is, the point of being in a cult is you don't know you're in a cult. So the XRP guys and the Cardano guys, yes, that is a cult because they do not recognize and they can't be reasoned with. When you're saying I'm in a cult, you're not in a cult. That's not how it works. So that's why it's it needs to be like a huge psychological case study, in my opinion, because that XRP army thing is,
it's genius. And to hear that it's global as well, like, because I don't want to bring this up on the pod, but I had a bizarre interaction with a guy in a bar who also told me that he only holds XRP and he's not in crypto. And I was like, wow, it's just wild. It's the best. It's the best marketing I've ever known. And marketing is everything. So like, maybe we are the mugs, fellas.
We are. Do they have do their founders have good sentiment around them? Or is it beyond
Grant,
that?
I'd be lying if I said I knew.
And people like that.
Yeah, I'd be no idea. But I'm going to throw you as a little bit of a curveball here. And I know we didn't prep for this when we were doing the pod, but when we talk about mania and cults, I think it would be remiss of me to not bring up the fact that in the past few days, the NFT thing, are NFTs back? So if you are listening on Spotify and you can't see the screen, I'm just pulling up a story that Ed did, which was yesterday, actually. So the NFT market surges past 6 billion as a whale sweeps 45 crypto punks. Is the digital collectibles mania back? So it looks like NFTs are rejoining the party. After a long cool down, the non-fungible token market is showing signs of renewed energy, with the total market cap climbing above the 6 billion mark for the first time in months. So obviously, as I've said, this is all hinged around this whale activity pushing crypto punks back up. So according to CoinGecko, the NFT market cap currently sits at 6.69 billion, representing a 28.2% jump in just 24 hours, its highest point since February. Alongside that, Crypto Slam data shows that NFT trading volume skyrocketed over 150% to $44.1 million over the same period. Big part of the boost being that one deep-pocketed buyer obviously dropped over 2,080 ETH, roughly 7.8 million, to acquire 45. Now, unsurprisingly, Raoul Pal, even though he's on holiday, has emerged.
He was
emerged from the shadows. Not on holiday yet, so I'll allow myself one more thread. The markets are crazy. NFT are just JPEGs, dog coins, cat coins, Tesla, GameStop. Everyone is going to get burned. But he did tell people to, this was in October, by the way. This isn't the tweet that I'm thinking of. I'm completely wrong. You know that you need an NFT collection. I've explained this to you to start. Either buy a crypto punk, or if you can't afford one, then buy a crypto dick. But your future self will thank you. Okay, back to holiday mode. This was the tweet I was looking for. So there's a question for the room. NFTs. They're back on the menu, boys. Grant, you go first.
No fucking way. Every single time I've bought an NFT. No fucking way. Absolutely not.
Because I get
it's like
I was going to say, yeah. Do you think it is just that like you can pick out a couple of Lindy NFT collections and you are going to get a premium on ETH really?
Yeah, non-liquidatable, highly illiquid leverage bet on ETH when there isn't really any ETH beta in the alt market as well.
Mogcoin.
Apart from Mog.
No, I think you've kind of got the ability as well to sweep some of these floors and get very eye-catching percentage gains on CoinGecko. Like hash masks are up 50% today. It doesn't take a lot of capital to move these because of the illiquidity. So like it could just be a bit of a psyops, but also saying that if it does sustain, you could see people would just FOMO back in because it could be like old habits. But I don't see people burning their ETH to mint new collections like 2021. I think people are wiser to that. But some of the Lindia shit could well get repriced, to be fair.
Yeah. I think it's just an indicator of people trying to front run risk appetite through NFTs, right? All the money goes to the least liquid and, the least likely asset, which is NFTs. So yeah, unless you're trying to buy something like a Pudgy that you think will last for a long time, I would say a no.
I agree. Yeah, just every single time get banned for me. I just don't see the point.
I've definitely got a few art blocks I'm willing to sell if anyone wants to buy them. Some regrettable purchases.
Every time I've bought an NFT, to be fair, I've never really looked at it as
an investment.
An investment. Yeah, I've just thought that's a nice PFP that I'll pay $5,000 for.
This will be a good tax loss harvesting scheme.
Yeah.
In about 6 months.
I am speaking to two guys. Grant's got a puppet on the shelf behind his shoulder, and obviously Mr. Morbid19 is also spotting a Bitcoin puppets on his PFP on Twitter. So that's another Hickson call, by the way.
He wants. Is he saying puppets are back? Is he?
No, but he got it right the first time. However, with NFTs, they're a trap because you get attached to it. So even if it does pump, you're never going to sell it.
The biggest trick the devil ever played was convincing everyone to put their PFP as their profile picture, because then you build your own personal brand around it and you create a stabilized price floor around it.
Yeah. I can't sell my Bitcoin puppet now. Back when it pumped really hard, when runes were coming out, it reached like 50K or so. I was like, it's gonna go up to like maybe a bit more, and I'm just gonna have it as my PFP forever. But now I'm like, wow, down to like 90%. So just stuck here.
You were never gonna get rid of it. Like Blockmates at one point was still Grant's original
DJ Nape,
NFT, and that was like what was synonymous with the brand until like I kind of ripped that up and we were like, that's not that anymore. And you wouldn't sell that either, would you, Grant? You was just kind of like emotionally tied.
I don't even know where it is, but
I was going to say, does it still exist in a wallet somewhere? Anyway, back to ETH. So I feel like Hickson's getting a lot of airtime on this episode. But I did say to him, which made me laugh last night, I messaged him on Slack and I was like, look, I need all of your best Ethereum bulltard tweets because I'm going to speak to the lads tomorrow about how ETH is now the buy and it's going to rip this cycle. And he proceeded to send me about 20, 25 tweets. So I'm going to sit back and I'm just going to pull a few of them up on screen here, and then we can kind of just work our way through them from a conversation point of view. So there's many, many different arguments to be made here, and we'll see.
Is there any in there that's saying it's topped?
No, actually. So Tyler D did post this one. We're saying GameSquare has just announced its plans to increase its ETH corporate treasury from 100 million to 250 million. And then, lo and behold, including a 10 million allocation to NFTs. Then Milk Road obviously posted this video from CNBC where it claims that ETH is not a security. The Ethereum blockchain is a very key component for a lot of other digital currencies. It's encouraging that these sorts of digital assets are being embraced by the market. Then again, an ETH co-founder says the next Sailor-style treasury pivot won't be in Bitcoin, it'll be in ETH. So before we go further down this rabbit hole, that's a good place to jump off.
We're seeing it from the data. We're already seeing it from the far side data coming in every day. It's been quite stark over the last couple of months, how it's just built very gradually for ETH. And now we're starting to see some serious inflows. And I think it was yesterday's, wasn't ETH up like 300 mil of inflows versus BTC outflow of 100 mil. And like, if we said this, say 3-4 months back, we would have all been laughing, saying that's bollocks, that couldn't happen. So everything pivots on a dime in crypto. So you have to be very agile. But it has just been, they've just been smashing the marketing at the park. And that has been from people in traditional finance, mainly, I'd say. But it's doing bits. And this is obviously bullish for broader altcoin speculation as well. So long may it continue, to be honest.
But the thing is, people always bring it up that, this thing can't last forever. Like, how many treasury companies are we going to have? Like, they can't all have a premium to their stock price compared to their net asset value. So, like, I've been discussing with other TradFi guys, and they're always like being very cautious about if these people will actually pull off something new. Like, are they going to like attach options to their treasuries and all that? Like, if this thing goes down to like the deeper Ponzi hole, then the unwinding might be the biggest blow up in crypto, because now we have the big boys coming in, deploying their liquidity here. So like a 2022 style, like hedge funds exploding, but this time it's just public companies, I guess.
I think we see that definitely. I don't think anyone, like, the thing is with Sailor starting this trend, Sailor is like mentally deranged. I don't believe the rest of them truly believe the product that they're selling to the extent of what Michael Saylor does. I also don't think they're as good at financial engineering as what Saylor is, or I don't think they're as good as a salesman as Saylor. So I think there's going to be a lot of casualties. I think we're going to probably get sent to the Shadow Realm for a short period of time at some point. Yeah, I don't know. I love the fact that there's loads of like failed biotech companies that are kind of like rebranding and pivoting to.
Yeah,
I don't know. It is not going to end well, but our job as idiots is to get off before the party stops.
Yeah, it seems like we're at the stage where we're able to front run them telegraphing a lot of fucking capitals coming in to buy these bags.
And it's a big telegraph as well. It's not like
it's a big one.
Yeah, it's like going on CNBC and shit like that to kind of like start marketing it. Like, just front run it and get out.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like Joseph Lubin, I think the quote that he said is that this is our broadband moment, and we know what he's getting at now. That's just going to be ETH.
If they like Ethereum is like dial up compared to Solana. Is that what he's getting at?
I think, and it's interesting. Like Ansem did this, did a tweet the other day, and it was like, if banks all decide to issue their own stablecoins, which blockchain will be the transactions primarily settled on? And it was a vote between Ethereum, Solana, others, and like TradFi rollups, and it was ETH like won out by 45.2%. And is it not?
I don't
like.
Think
I want to just.
I don't think that's how it plays out. It's
no.
It's a permission chain if it happens anywhere.
So
there's no fucking way. Like, there's absolutely no way banks are putting trillions on chain that they do not have some pseudo control over. There's no way. I'm not having it.
Go on.
If it's going to be anything, it's going to look like some kind of conglomerate like Visa or what MasterCard is, where the banks have got a vested interest in it, where it is pseudo permissioned, so like this semi-permissionless chain. This is why Athena have went with a converged architecture that is semi-permissionless. There's absolutely no way on earth that it's going to be on, predominantly, it's not going to be on one public blockchain. It's just not going to happen. Not a chance.
Interesting thoughts,
I don't
lads.
see it.
You'd have to think Solana is the settlement layer. Like, even if you just use any of these chains yourself, like if you're going to have payments operate on one large network, it's the only one that kind of works. So I just can't see it being ETH. It just, I think, what was the gas spiked up for swaps to like 11, 12 bucks in the last week, like just straight away. And there's not been that much activity. So yeah, I can't see anything other than Solana for payments, particularly.
Yeah. Also, like they're already coming out with stable and like all these new stable coin designated chains. So I think they might create like a federation of banks and these payment system and rails that will have some sort of control over their flows, capital flows, because we've seen how the government, the U.S. government, is so sensitive about like these stable coins being used by people that they don't really hang around with. For example, terrorists. They don't want terrorists to be using the stables, and how Elizabeth Warren was really mad about that, and it's about like the political motives, in my opinion, instead of like the bank's own interest. I don't think the banks really gave a shit about if terrorists use their money. Like they make more money out of it. So I think it's more about governmental overreach. Yeah.
It will be like a federation, like you're saying, similar to what Visa is, but it'll run on crypto rails. Like it's just not going to happen. There's no way, like, not just not going to happen. Sorry.
So right, to draw a line into this, predictions, and a lot has been made about ETH's outperformance in the last few days or so. But like even as we record this now, like last 7 days, it's neck and neck really with Sol and XRP and everything. Like, where does this go? Like, Grant, you've said we'll pay for this. Juhyuk, like, I don't know what your thoughts are. We're going to go to you as well, Gaz, and I'm going to start with you first, Gaz. Like, how far does this go with ETH? And give me a price target. I don't really want a price target.
If we can extrapolate from what we've just seen over the last 2 months with Bitcoin and their treasury companies, like things have picked up pace very, very quickly. So I think you might see the same thing happen with ETH here. And I think if we do this pod in, say, a month's time, the story's changed a lot and a lot of people have started to ape in. So I think we do see this kind of, it's not even been a gradual rise. It's gone bang up almost into 4K again. It's gonna break all-time highs, if you ask me. I think that wouldn't be a silly prediction to make with all these numbers floating around.
Yeah.
10K maybe. But I think that would be sell everything, and go enjoy yourself for 6 months minimum.
I would do like over 10K. I think I like to dream big. At least that seems like the case because Wall Street loves Ethereum now. Apparently, it's their new baby. They want to put money on it. Yeah. They want to build the new internet on it. So yeah, at least we got to go over 10K. That should happen to make everyone happy.
Maybe if we keep doing these podcasts on Ethereum, we might add 25% of its market cap.
Yes.
Yeah, true. Yeah. If you think we're not going to like clip this up to the fucking rafters on Ethereum, by the way, from a search point of view, you've got another thing coming. So I'm going to land finally on the biggest ETH bear in the world. Grant, what do you think? I know you've kind of given the game away. But...
No, I do think it'll hit all-time highs. I don't see it really breaking past 10, if I'm honest. Like what we sat at market cap wise now. Has anyone got CoinGecko open?
I've got about 50 tabs open here, gents. Someone's going to have to beat me to it.
I think you do see huge acceleration, as Gaz is saying. I don't think I really don't think you verge over 10K. And I also think if you do start to see a lot more Solana-based treasury companies come online, I think that could catch a bid as well, which might steal a little bit of the thunder. And Wall Street are obviously very aware of the whole Solana thing. I think they've did a much better job at marketing it towards those guys up until now. I think that what Danny Ryan and Etherealize have done, even in the past 6 to 10 months, has been, I think it's been reflected now in what you're seeing. So it's at least there is some competition now, but yeah, I don't know. Like what we saw at there, 450 bill. Can Ethereum hit $1 trillion asset? Like, I don't know. That's nosebleed territory for me.
It's digital oil, Grant.
Oh yeah, sure, yeah.
The final point I'm going to make on this is it does feel a little bit though, and it felt towards the back end of last year when the running joke was how much ETH was lagging. It felt like we had to see a run in the cycle, didn't like surely like
at the outset of the market cycle though, on podcasts we've done 100%, we were saying Ethereum will be the last thing to run, and that should mark the goodbye Argentina. Like, so like we're in the midst of that happening. So beware.
The thing is, like, I've said this, like, everyone who wants like an alt season to happen should want Ethereum to go and rip to all-time highs, because you think about the professional bag holders who've held Ethereum for the better part of, what's that now? 4 years, nearly 3.5 years, 4 years. They have, like, if you've just held ETH and you've reluctantly not gone to any greener pastures and had a lot of fun and made a lot of money like everyone else, you need that wealth effect to kick in with ETH before you then start to kind of like flirt around with higher risk assets like we're seeing in the NFT markets now. So there's early indications that people are in profit on ETH, and then that will be a wealth effect that trickles down. But all of that money that's been just like bag held for what feels like an eternity, and they've just been getting laughed at, that needs to generate additional wealth before it trickles into it, like the much wider market, in my opinion. So everyone, regardless of what you think about it, if you do want to see a big, huge alt season, you need the bag holders to have made a little bit of money for that to happen.
Yeah, I've seen some great memes that I should have probably bookmarked to bring up, to be honest, but I don't have them, and I don't want to run out of time here as well, because one thing that I do want to talk about, especially while we have Mr. Juhyuk on, is the Korean crypto market. Now, I feel like, and maybe this is just, I'm looking through a little bit of a lens right now, but it's all anyone seems to be talking about. I'm seeing protocols, networks falling over themselves, hand over fist, to try and break into the Korean market. I hear all sorts of dark magic goes on as well in terms of listings and how people achieve that. And I'm keen to know, and even my inbox, it's constantly people asking me. We still haven't done KBW. It's probably going to change this year, but it feels like it's also like New York's obviously having a moment for obvious reasons, but like everybody's talking about Korea as the hub to break into Asia. It certainly feels that way. So what are your thoughts on that before we get into the how?
So I think that is happening for a reason, because I'm not sure if you looked at it, but the Korean won as a fiat currency is the second largest currency that is traded on crypto exchanges after the USD, which is crazy if you think about it. Like the USD is traded on all exchanges, but KRW, the Korean won, is only available on Korean exchanges. So Koreans are creating all this crazy volume, and the infamous upbit pump, or the Bithumb pump, once you get listed, it's a guaranteed 50% pump, or maybe if it even goes crazy, like you can get like a 3 or 4x, even on a very good, bigger market cap coin. So everyone really wants this retail appetite. They know we have a lot of money to spend. And we have like this tendency to gamble our money on exchanges. So yeah, that is why, because we have such strong buying power, but also policy-wise, we got a new president after the latest guy got impeached for these weird reasons that I cannot elaborate.
There
Anyways,
was some wild shit going on there for a while, wasn't there? Yeah.
yeah, every day.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but policy wise, the new guys came in with very strong stance on they want to become the crypto hub of Asia. They want to enact new laws for the Korean won stablecoin. They want to incorporate crypto as like one of their key, I don't know, like improvements in their policy. So yeah, crypto is trending very strong in retail markets and policy wise.
So what you're saying is Kwon wasn't wrong, he was just early.
Yes. we should let him out. Nobody thinks he's wrong.
Bring UST back.
Yes.
Well, finish that sentence. Nobody thinks he's what?
Nobody thinks he's wrong. Yeah, he was done wrong. Like, you know, I mean, even like on Tokwon, when I talk to people, they're secretly, you know, like, I think Tokwon, he shouldn't be locked up because like I think it's just that he, you know, made just bad decisions. I didn't think he was trying to defraud anyone, but you know, that's his opinion. So yeah.
Free door.
So is this a kind of, and those stats are insane, and there's a lot of what you've just said there that lines up with a country ripe for crypto, by the way.
Yeah.
But when did this, you know, from a total top line point of view, when did this start to really kick in, would you say? Like, has it been you know, we've spent the first half an hour of this episode talking about retail interest and coming back. Has that always been bubbling away, or like is volume really picking up now? Like, has it been 6 months? Like, where did that happen?
So the Korean won, it used to, I mean, like since like 2 or 3 years ago, it was already the number 3 fiat currency, like most popular fiat currency traded on crypto exchanges. So it just picked up much more volume recently. And I saw like interest in the Korean market since last year, KBW, which is September, late August. I definitely saw more people flying into Korea to explore Korea. Like people only used to go to Token 2049, which is held in Singapore, and KBW used to be just like, you know, a place that you go
an
before.
Afterthought.
Yeah.
Or a pre-thought.
Yeah. But now it's like more exclusive Korean events, and like recently it's getting even more out of hand because like you know, there are these projects that, you know, do these like specific Korea campaigns where they just give out like airdrops. People invite them to these fancy dinners, like very, very generous airdrops, actually, like few thousand per person. And it's they want to basically, you know, bribe the retail you know, sentiment. And you know, it all happens, this all happens for one reason, because they want a listing in Korean exchanges, and Korean exchanges look at how many people gather at these events and what the sentiment is. And on I'm not sure if you've been to Korea, but there's this big like main road in Korea called Gangnam-daero. It's like this big road in Gangnam, a very popular district in Korea. And there are these like advertisement I don't like these towers, not a tower, but like very big screens that are just like straight up all placed on end to end of that boulevard, and they, you know, do ads there which don't really matter because most people don't care about, you know, the ads that are displayed there, but they just take photos and, you know, want to show people that how popular they are in Korea. And yeah, this happens even more during KBW. And if I think if your guys are coming, you're going to see a lot of crypto ads during KBW.
Yeah, I was there for the first time in like May this year, April, May, in Seoul. Absolutely loved it. And I noticed as well that there was more of a presence even then at that time of the year of like the vanity ads, you know, like we've all seen the New York Times Square shit, you know what I mean? Like we've all seen that carry on. And probably in like maybe 2 years ago now, when every meme coin on ETH was like part of the marketing strategy. Yeah. And, but I did notice that. But if we were to go, if there was like a founder or someone listening to this and like we're laughing because we're all seeing the activations and stuff across CT at the minute, but how is the best way to ethically and properly break into the Korean market, would you say, or is it just dark magic?
I think definitely you shouldn't be, coming in with vaporware or like, things that you want to just, blatantly scam people off. A lot of Koreans have been burnt by this since 2017. We know like what is good or not, but the people that engage to your content, like offline, online, um, there are a lot of cherry pickers here. Like, they just come in for the airdrops, the fancy dinners, and you might think that you might have traction in Korea, but it's all fake. No, don't believe anything. Actually deliver a product. Actually help people in Korea, because I believe Korea is one of those areas where there's a lot of retail appetite, but there are not a lot of devs or a lot of builders here. So empowering the community, I think that is one way to definitely try to make a positive impact, and try to get your brand out there. And just being more honest. I think that's what we really need.
That's what we preach across the board. And the one thing I'll say about the Korean audience market is they are fucking ruthless on CT. If they don't like something, I don't think I've seen a pitchfork crowd quite like it. I respect it, if I'm honest.
Yeah, fucking, it's great.
Yes.
I think it happens because we think it could be, I don't know, I might sound very racist here, but I'm surrounded by white men, and when we think a white guy comes to Korea and try to sell his coins, we see it as some sort of it doesn't look good, it doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
So I think that's why they're more angry about it.
What do the Koreans think of pump?
Oh, pump.
Yeah, go on, then.
Everyone hates it. Everyone hates it now. Yeah, everyone. Nope. I think only a handful of people got into the actual sale, and then I think a bunch of people longed it. Then now, end of the story. We all know how it ends. Yeah,
we all know how it ends. And right now, you are kind of just a sort of soft chill. What you're building right now, you kind of obviously previously are still with Wormhole. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the main thing we're interested in, which is sort of what you and I bonded over, is Kimchi Premium, right? So talk to me a little bit about that. Like, what are you thinking there? Because a lot of your ideas are shared from a creative point of view. And I want to know like how things are going with that, and yeah, like what should people know about what that's going to exist to be?
Yeah, so I'm just trying to create a platform that is an extension of my already existing newsletter, which is called the Kimchi Premium. The Kimchi Premium, if people don't know, it's just how expensive coins are being traded on Korean exchanges compared to Western exchange. I mean, the rest of the world. But I thought that was a good idea to be a brand, so I just took that, and I just talk about Korean stuff. I talk about like Korea policy, how I think these policymakers are stupid, how I think there is a hidden agenda behind, the Korean stable coin. I think I talk about how the community react to things, and since a lot of people are pretty curious about the Korean market, I saw some traction to my newsletter. And also, since Korea is becoming like a major player in the crypto industry overall, I wanted to expand that into an actual media brand and have it published in Korean and English. And I'm still kind of developing the website because I want to incorporate a lot of AI automation. And it'll be out pretty soon. Yeah.
Amazing.
Stoked to see it. Well, thanks, fellas. This is one of our longer episodes in a while, unsurprisingly. I know we haven't done much story coverage, but I've probably enjoyed this one more than I have in a long time. Even like laughing at the pump fun we did last week after the.
We're all going out.
But, yeah, we are. But look, if you've got this far, thank you. Please leave a comment, subscribe to the newsletter. Go and check out Morbid19 on Twitter, Mr. Juhyuk, and thank you again for joining us, man. That was a pleasure.
It was a pleasure for being here. Thank you.
See you later, chaps.
Cheers, boys.
Over now. Bye.